This is my recap of Marriage Boot Camp. Season 2, Episode 8, Leap or Die Frying. Ooh, very dramatic. So the theme of the episode is forgiveness, which is, of course, a huge part of a healthy relationship is forgiving and letting go and all that. So we talk to everyone, and they talk about who in their life they haven't forgiven. A lot of this is going to be related to either their childhood or past relationships, in some cases current relationships. So for instance, we see Gloria, they acted out with the different counselors. Gloria talks to her father, who, abandoned her. He didn't really care about her, never bothered to find anything out about her. And they kind of talk through how she feels, and the counselors kind of get her to confront the fact that regardless of what the other person feels, forgiveness is about you and you being unshackled and moving on. It's all very, very deep. So in general, it's not that surprising. You have a lot of parents. We do see, I think, some interesting things. For instance, Sean, it's his ex-girlfriend that we've heard so much about. But Sophia also is with the ex-girlfriend, which, I don't know. I didn't really think a lot of it, but the more I thought about it afterwards, I was like, well, that's kind of a cop-out. Like, that's the biggest issue in her life with forgiveness is Sean's ex-girlfriend. I don't know. I mean, I feel like maybe it's more to do with Sean not letting go of his ex-girlfriend than the ex-girlfriend. I don't know. The counselor seemed okay with it. I didn't totally get it. We learned with Julian and Blanca that Julian cheated on Blanca before they were married. Sounds like quite a bit. And she hasn't really forgiven him, which really kind of makes their whole dynamic, like you kind of get it a little bit more now that I know that. Mei Li admits that she might not have ever forgiven anyone. She's just not that type of person, which, good of her to at least kind of acknowledge and she can deal with. So anyway, they go through this whole thing and everybody talks about forgiveness. And then we get to sort of the big daily challenge, which is there's a fire. The house is on fire. And for some odd reason, only one of them can jump. And so one by one, the couples go up there and they've got to decide who's going to jump and why. And kind of articulate, why they think the other person should go on. Just to kind of cut right through everything. In every case, the women jump. They jump a whole, 10 feet. I don't have a fear of heights. If you have a fear of heights, I can understand why that would freak you out, period. But I don't have a fear of heights, and so it was kind of silly to me that they were like so freaked out about jumping 6 feet onto this huge inflatable thing with like multiple people around them. But I guess if you're scared of heights, then I'm not trying to undermine that. But anyway, in every case, the women end up jumping, and the men, all stay. I think the big part of this exercise is really them articulating to each other why they think the other person should live. So I know that was a really big deal for Jeff and Tasha, for him to really tell her why he thought she needed to live, and especially because his issue is communication. Communicating to her that she has value to him, I think, was a really big step for them. So that's about the episode. I mean, there's a ton more talking, but in terms of recapping, that's about it. So we're closing in on the end of this season.